of the American Revolutionary War of 1776. A tangled web of conspiracy spans North America. In the war of survival, it does not matter what your creed, color, culture, or gender is. All stand together. Thomas Paine's common sense is held aloft in every rebel patriot's hand as they take up arms against the British Empire. But as the revolution has begun, something far more mysterious stirs. Agents of the occult entreat both the Continental Army and loyalist redcoats. Freemasons conspire in the city of brotherly love. Maryland is in the throes of a witch hunt by the Knights Templar. Amid the chaos, other grim fairy tales have emerged. Reports of witches have been seen in the Great Dismal Swamp. Indigenous Sachems say the devils called Manitou walk among the living. Flesh-gobbling ghouls have been tunneling beneath Boston. The Pine Barrens of New Jersey are haunted by what the locals call the Leeds Devil. And worse still, an ancient enemy whose name is never uttered aloud seeks to consume all, loyalists and rebels alike. In this game, most people have either chosen to deny the supernatural or rationalize it away. A rare few accept it for what it is and act. You are among those heroes and are destined for greatness or death. Welcome to Flames of Freedom, where your grim and perilous tale hangs in the balance.
Valid question.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. How are we all doing today? A little.
We're all
yes,
totally
please.
sane, I promise.
We're
very sane.
We're totally fine. Definitely not horribly imperiled by the misadventures of the ghouls last episode. So again, hello. My name is Anna, also known as Nymeria941. I'm going to be your historian today as we dive back into the world of Boston Besieged, Flames of Freedom. Before we do get started today, I wanted to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors, including Andrews McNeil that publishes the ZweihanderRPG system. They have just, or we rather, I should say, because I work for them, have just recently wrapped up the Kickstarter for the new Flames of Freedom game that is going to be released in its physical form sometime early next year. So definitely go have a look over at that. If you're joining us from Achtung Cthulhu just before this, welcome. Hi, we're happy to have you. It's probably still going to be equally grim and bloody, just in a different time period for a change of pace. We are sponsored by the publishers of that as well, Diffius, and the folks over at iHunt, Axon Punk, and Defiant, which are all of the RPG systems that we use for the shows throughout the rest of the week. Absolutely go have a look over at those. There's some really awesome games, really great storytelling opportunities. And if you are joining us from YouTube, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I eagerly await to see what you think of the end of this episode, or the beginning, as it turns out. So yeah, before we get started, why don't we... What? Do I have something stuck in my teeth?
No, we're just waiting for you to do the announcer voice again. By the way, just to let everyone in on this, why we are literally dying here is because this woman can actually speak with the trailer voice one by one, the whole thing. And does she do it in her voice? No. She is trying to be...
It's solid.
Doom guy.
It's just
something
good.
more.
I
Something
know
else.
that we have a retweet goal for King George, but I want a retweet goal that is Anna dubs the trailer for the next episode. We play Anna's dub of the trailer instead of the actual trailer. I would love that.
All right. How many retweets do we need for that to happen? Just so that you all can quit giggling at me.
Two.
From
We
the
just need
side.
two.
Oh, I'm gonna make
2
this
retweets.
just the 40 retweet goal. Like this is, I'm not
Oh,
topping the
jeez.
69
Dope. Please.
phrasing. I am
Please.
just going to make this the 40 retweet.
Lydia.
What?
We
have I
just started. We can't be this deep in sanity already.
Yes, we can. We are. We've never
I'm
left.
concerned about this evening. This is
This is how we deal with lingering death.
Is humor. Lots of humor.
So, yeah, 40 retweets, and I guess I'm doing my own rendition of the trailer. So, go on, chat, knock yourselves out if this is something that you want to
Do
see.
it.
Spread the word about the show. Also, remember that you can donate crits, which in this system are rerolls save a life, which they really might need. There's a bunch of different donation options up in the chat, and yeah, if you want to help save a preacher that's currently becoming a ghoul snack, and also his friends that are trying to prevent that from happening, you can go ahead and do that. Anyway, let's get this train back on the rails. Let's go around. Tell us who you are, who you were playing today. What is the foremost thought of their mind? Let us begin with Lydia. You are first.
Well, Lydia is very much looking forward to this. Hi, that's me. I'm Lydia Half-Astarment. I'm playing Isabel McKenzie, who is not so much looking forward to this because a bunch of ghouls just broke out of a graveyard and are currently dragging off Jacob just when she started to kind of really warm up to all these weirdos. And Jacob first, and for like head weirdo. So yeah, this is very, very not good, and I would very much like him not to die just yet.
Not till we know his secrets.
Exactly. Priorities. What about you, Nikki?
Hi, I'm Nikki. I am playing Felicity Cross. She kind of knows what's going on. Will she save the preacher man? We'll find out. That's it. That's all I got.
Well, speaking of preacher men, I'm Jeff Muller, also known as the Mighty Jerd. I'm the aforementioned ghoul snack being drug off to a lair to be feasted upon. You know, I think right now the foremost thought in Jacob's head is, ow, 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 why are there teeth in my head? But, you know, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
For sure. Well, hi everyone. I am Fenway Jones, or Fenway the Teen DM. I am playing Wynn Hamilton, who is actually currently on is high on life. She just garroted 2 ghouls, and took them off of her friends. So she's very proud of herself. Kind of concerned about the preacher, but we'll see. We'll see which one prevails.
Hi, I'm Dee. Unlike Anna, I didn't sleep last night, so y'all are in for a ride. I am playing Pharaoh Mason, the diplomat, who currently has a large wound in his side, and that's not going to stop him from running back out after the priest that's being grabbed by the ghoulies. So that'll be fun.
First of all, rude. Second of all, let us go ahead and, get right back into the story. When last we left off, our group of erstwhile mystery solvers and conspirators had dinner with a new client of sorts, Grace de Beers, a colonial woman who shared a certain sense of magical kinship with the more magically minded folks in the party. She had asked them to go investigate some strange midnight ritualistic occurrences that were happening at the old common burial ground in Boston. And after the group made their way there, were all too unpleasantly surprised at the sight of monstrous flesh-eating ghouls coming up out of their graves after feasting upon the corpses buried in this common burial ground. A very brutal knockdown, drag-out fight ensued, and we last left with Jacob. A ghoul's sharp fangs sunk into the back of your neck on all fours, flat, shaking a mouse, galloping off in the direction of the caretaker's house.
Yeah. Good times.
You, I think, with the injuries that you've taken in this fight so far, straight up disorientation of getting dragged all the way from where you were down this tunnel, you're kind of in and out of consciousness a little. There's some blood just kind of dripping out near the back of your head, base of the neck, where the ghoul's fangs buried into your neck. And you come to dizzy with your vision swimming before you, lying on your side, and you see you're lying in what looks like a cave of some sort. It smells very musty and kind of dank, almost as if you are underground.
Okay.
Mostly the cave's pretty pitch dark. There's no source of light or anything like that, but you can feel this gritty, rough stone of the walls and like a wooden beam holding up, you gather, maybe like a support, like this was a tunnel that had been excavated or something like that under. And
so when you say that I was, when we ended that session and I was, being drugged back to the caretaker's house, but I was under the impression I was being pulled above ground, so I got pulled underground into a tunnel system. Is that what I'm understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes this worse. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, keep going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, this is where you find yourself, a dark, musty smelling cave. And being the man of God and the practitioner of magic or the supernatural, whatever it is that you like to call it, as we know, everybody in the party has a slightly different interpretation of that, you feel that this foul aura of necromancy pervades this entire place. And nowhere is it more concentrated than what you hear deep within the tunnel. This like the beating of a malevolent heart.
Okay.
We are going to cut back now to the rest of you who have just seen one of the ghouls make off with your friend, the preacher. The rest of them having scattered back into the graves from which they arose. And you've just seen his limp body hanging from this ghoul's jaw, retreating towards the caretaker's house. What do you do?
Unreasonably
Well, I mean, we have
chase
to,
after him.
Well, I mean, we have to go. Oh my God, Pharaoh, where are you? Please help me, sir. Well, we've got to go after him. We can't just let the brother suffer out there by himself. Pharaoh will sort of very, very hurt. Pharaoh will bring themselves back to their feet and. Oh, okay. and look to Isabel. Shall we give chase?
Yeah. Yeah. She's probably already taken a couple of steps, look back, not being usually this forward, and Pharaoh's like-mindedness, I think, is enough that runs after. Is anyone else that, from looking back, is anyone else down? Is anyone else close to the brink of, snuffing it?
Well, so you took Wynn from seriously wounded to moderately wounded, or went back. So Wynn is not doing fantastic, but she's not exactly like grievously wounded.
Yeah, we'll
Moderately
say
as well.
if you have anything on the order of smelling salts or something like that that you wanted to use at this time. Or Isabel, were you talking about using magic for this?
Oh,
For what?
Because you were
For
asking
the-
if people were injured or something. I was wondering if you were asking because you
Oh.
were trying to do magic or something
No,
like that.
She wants to go after the preacher.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
If
gotcha.
anyone's on the ground gargling, then she'll take care of them first.
I do have smelling salts, but based on the equipment, the way that I read it, perhaps I read it wrong, but I thought smelling salts were just for mental damage, not.
They are, which I don't think any of
okay,
you have
okay,
taken
for sure.
because of that crit success from last time. Okay.
Yee.
All right.
How is Felicity looking?
Felicity's great. She ran, and no one was able to catch her. I don't know how or why. But I think she finally catches her breath. She's pretty much almost to the caretaker's house, and then she turns, and then I guess she finally realizes the preacher got taken down.
I mean, I don't think
We
it's a
have to go
terrible
after
idea
him.
for. I don't think it's a terrible idea for one of us to stay back and make sure that this place doesn't get overrun. Make sure we have somewhere to go to when we retrieve the brother.
I mean, I could start attempting to cleanse this place of the bad spirits, but
We need to go. He doesn't have much time. My God. I'm off.
All right. There is
Let's-
only one.
Nothing.
There is only one building edifice nearby. This small cottage formerly belonged to the caretaker of the common burial ground. As you walk in, Isabel, Felicity, perhaps to an extent Pharaoh as well, begin to also feel that pulsating, almost like a sound that goes beyond what you can hear with your ears. Vibrations that go beyond what you can sense through the soles of your feet. There's a man living in the center of the house with a table, 2 chairs sitting in the middle. Looks to be the remains of a partially eaten meal, as well as some books and papers. Embers from a fire recently died down, still smoldering fitfully in the fireplace. And among the books on the table, there is a copy of what is called A Human Risen, a book that Wynn, I think, would recognize as being a manual of the rights and regulations of the Freemasons. In addition to this, there are many discarded tools like pickaxes, shovels, many of which look to be broken through heavy use, scattered about. And a bedroom, staying in one corner with a chest under the bed. The sound of this beating heart seems like it is coming from beneath the floorboards somewhere.
While we're here, I would like to grab the book and go straight over to the chest.
Yeah, inside the chest, it's not locked. It appears that it just contains some simple personal effects, articles of clothing, and a wooden bowl carved with an animal head. The sheath of a knife, decorated with some colorful glass beads, and about 7 pounds sterling loose change. No knife in the sheath, though.
Are there any Freemason rings?
There are no rings, no.
Okay. Anything notable about the clothing? Or are they just like regular? No?
Just very simple,
Alright.
straightforward clothing.
I will grab the sheath and the sterling, and then try and find a way downstairs.
I would like to have you go ahead and make me an awareness test. Just at a -10 difficulty.
And while Finn is rolling, I just want to quickly say thanks for smashing that first 20 retweet goal. I have a hunch it's the trailer voice. I have a hunch it's
Don't know
people
what you're
want to
talking about.
see Anna ruin
No clue what you mean.
her vocal cords. But furthermore, a Funky Baba Ganoush, thank you so much for the 2 gifted subs, which means we are having our sub goal reached. So our retweet goal and our sub goal, that's Anna's problem.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
It's almost like y'all want these characters to live or something, but seriously, thank you.
Maybe. I got 25.
Wow, all right. Walking along these floorboards, you come across a sort of cellar door that is kind of built into almost like a pull-up trapdoor thing like that into the area beneath and below the house. But as you're walking over the floorboards of the house, you can tell that whereas normally you would have more solid footfalls, you would expect to have more solid footfalls on an area that wasn't above the cellar. Everything still sounds this strangely hollow ringing, as if there is something larger being dug out, which together with the broken tools leads you to believe there might be more underneath this house than just a simple root cellar. What are y'all doing?
I will kind of motion to the rest of the group and kind of like tap on the ground with my foot and say there's something more down there besides just a cellar. If my hunch is correct, then that is where Jacob is.
Farrell will nod and Farrell's gonna follow the way that Isabel went, though. But before they leave, they're gonna say, "Definitely follow up on that. That makes plenty of sense. But I'm gonna make sure that Miss Mackenzie doesn't get herself hurt running around out there."
All right. Felicity, I guess that means you're with me.
I guess it does. Let's see what else is in this cabin. Felicity pulls out her. She doesn't use it often, but she pulls out of her gigantic like carpenter bag a gun. Just in case.
Okay.
It's one of those. It's like a small pistol. Yeah, the overcoat pistol. It's not.
Yeah, I have my pistol in one hand and my garrote in the other, actually. So, feel that. Okay. Where do we want to hit, or where do we want to head?
Let's go ahead and head downstairs, to where we hear the digging.
Where is that in?
The cellar area. There's a trapdoor that leads down into a very basic kitchen root cellar place where it looks like this groundskeeper has maybe stored some vegetables for the winter and things like that. Yeah, Isabel, you ran after in whatever direction Jacob was dragged off to. Because of your sense of where these ghouls come from, the necrotic nature of their being, you have a hunch that following somewhere down is where he's gone. You get this sense of returning down into a grave. That's where the ghouls want to be. That's where they want to take what they have. And as you're just scanning over this room, you spy a sort of square board plank and a large stone that have been shifted off to the side, away from a large hole in the ground. A slight flickering light, as if from a lantern, is coming up through the hole, as well as air with the stench of decay wafting through it as well. And you know you have him.
And is that big enough for me to get through the various planks you mentioned, or is there an opening for it, or do I have to rip those off?
Yeah, you can. It's wide enough for people to, like, a one person at a time operation to fit through. The plank and the stone just seem like they were used to cover it up when the shaft wasn't in use. But it is not covered now.
I have a thing called Trace of Life for Herbalist, which, to be fair, is only technically working for animals or places. But
okay.
I want to use it mostly for flavor and mostly just for a little bit of that kick, where I can use the sacred tool that I have to find a place or animal. And as you mentioned,
Yeah.
necrotic energy, what she does is look around if anyone sees her, if anyone's followed her. Is Pharaoh with her at this point?
Pharaoh was definitely making their way out to catch up. I'm not sure if they've done so just yet. But if Pharaoh
Then
is there, they'll offer a hand and say, ladies first, I suppose.
It's mostly because if you're there, she'll go, don't tell him, and pricks her finger with a dagger, a shandu that she's carrying, and holds up the blood that is dripping upwards and then falling into a direction. I think he's in here.
And you never cease to amaze.
Come quick.
Ask you to move
quicker.
on. Yeah.
So you're going down
fall
into
down the
this tunnel. All right. For everybody who is descending down into this tunnel, it's just under about a 3 foot, or it's a short drop, and then you have to like hunch to get through as it begins to descend down, down, down. There are bits and pieces where it begins to wind from side to side, and eventually you come to a series of shafts carved into the ground, paralleling Octon Cthulhu once again. Descending about 200 feet at a really steep angle. You can see there are very rough handholds carved into the sides. And to have you all try and make your way down there, let's go ahead and make that a routine athletics test. So +10 to your rolls, and that is for anybody that is going down there. What order are we descending? For no reason whatsoever.
So Felicity and I are going into the cellar, and then Pharaoh and
Yeah.
Isabel are going into the other place.
So the cellar is where this shaft that's going down below the house is located. So if you're going into the cellar, you would also be seeing, you'd be seeing Isabel and Pharaoh descend into this hole in the ground.
Really? We both just are like, oh.
That is a 30, which is a success.
Okay.
I'm going to use the first reroll. I am true to my reputation because I rolled a 77,
Isabel.
which would be a critical fail.
A critical
but I rolled a
fail.
6.
Oh my.
I rolled a 6, so
Okay.
you're not getting any misfortune. But I'm
All
still
Look,
right,
your
that's
rolls are so consistently poor. It's almost
Thanks.
impressive.
I hate it.
It's so bad it makes me look better.
It's honestly, it's
I
because
won't say it
all
makes
after
me look
Colin.
good, but
Colin doesn't have to roll
All
much for
right.
Call of Cthulhu, so I'm getting all of that.
What?
But the coin is still spent.
Yes.
It's a routine what check?
Athletics +10.
I will also go ahead and snatch one of those coins. I don't understand how you can fail walking down a set of stairs, but I rolled a 99, so we're not.
Yeah.
Think of it a little
I
bit
mean,
more as like a rock climbing thing. So you have some very hard Scrabble handholds, but this is a pretty sheer drop. That's the fail, is you fall 200 feet.
Unless you want to make
No.
it Kevin McAllister and Home Alone with a nail in there, because we also reached that Bane retweet goal at a 4 away from the trailer.
Thank
The trailer
you.
voice.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Oh boy. I got a 2.
So
All right, so win's fine.
so I even with the plus 10 at a 50. Oh no, yeah, 50. So I got a 45.
Okay, so making your way down, you're able to just sort of pick a very tenuous path down through these things. And you find yourself in a very large, spacious, hollowed out cavern. The walls of which are covered with numerous crude carvings and paintings. Very, very old. They depict scenes of what looks to be some kind of ritual. There's a figure, many figures, wearing masks and holding sharp pointed daggers. From what you can make out, it's a bit difficult to tell. It looks like this depicts some sort of ritual murder, sacrifice, spilling of human blood. That much is clear, as evidenced by the figure that is lying bound before a dark, looming, massive creature painted on the wall, with tentacles erupting from its mouth. And it's as you begin looking intently at these carvings, perhaps even stepping closer to get a better look, you feel the crunch and crack of bones beneath your feet. You look down to spy that even in the dimness of this light, as your eyes adjust, the floor is covered with many human bones. Many of them cracked open, the marrow extracted. I am going to need everyone to make an easy resolve test. That's a plus 20. This is against the stress of seeing what you recognize to be human bones.
I believe resolve is still something that we get bonuses on from
I believe that's your liquid courage, isn't it?
liquid
Yes.
courage has stress, fear, terror. So I'm assuming that works for resolve.
Yeah, this is a resolve. This is a resolve to resist stress.
I rolled a 4. I'm good.
Okay.
So we're plus
I rolled an
20, plus
18.
30?
We're plus 40 or no 30 plus 30. The liquid
Plus
courage
30,
and then
yep.
easy is the plus 20.
Yep.
Roger that.
Well, that's great because I got a 60, but skating under with my 70 here.
I rolled a 66, so that 30 brings me to success range.
Yeah.
I think it's turning a
I'm
critical
happy
fail
about
into a critical success because... Oh no, because 36, that's not how math works.
Right,
Ignore me.
it becomes 36. But yeah, success.
Felicity, did you fail?
No, I with the plus 30, that would bump up to 70, and I would got a 60.
Okay, so you're fine.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is also where our boon from the Chaos Chorus comes in hand, because
Sweet.
as you all are able to keep your faculties together, you notice something sticking out of some of the pile of bones on this floor. A familiar set of clerical garb the hand of a man who holds a cross familiar to many of you, and you see the dazed form of your friend Jacob lying on a tower of these human bones. What do you do next?
Is that all of us, or like we met together at this point?
If you were all climbing down that shaft, yes, you would have all dropped into this bone area at the same time. So, yeah.
Yeah, it literally, we saw each other like before we started the 200-foot descent, like in that cellar area. Yeah.
Isabel will immediately run up and check for vitals and see if he's still alive, because that does not look like it.
Go ahead and make me just a standard heal test.
Felicity's going to join you, and she is going to. I hope this is still a basic tier spell. I didn't check. I got elemental warmth. So she takes the lantern that she's kept covered, and she literally just like puts her hands on it, and then puts her warmed up hands on the side of Jacob's head to like warm him up. Essentially.
Okay, so like you're trying to treat shock or something like that, almost.
Yes, I still have to cast it, but.
All right, so let's go ahead and have Isabel make that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The heal is successful.
Okay, sweet. Just looking over the state of the wound on the back of his neck seems to be the most dangerous thing at this point, because while it doesn't appear that he has lost enough blood to kill someone from it, it is still bleeding, and you can see around the edges of the bites and puncture from the fangs that it looks like the wound might be turning septic. It looks...
So I cast this... Oh, sorry.
Like it is beginning to fester far quicker than a wound that could be infected by a normal bite from an animal, say.
So I cast a spell, and the normal effects, if I'm successful, up to 4 points of willpower bonus to allies can ignore the negative effects of cold weather, also avoiding frostbite. I rolled a 1.
Critical success. Is there any critical success text for the spell under there?
Yes, up to 3 times my willpower bonus, allies are affected. So that's it's like 12 because I have 4.
Okay, so you're basically guarding everybody against frostbite with this spell for the... Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get affected by that, but you're all very warm.
It's not a bad idea.
Well, it's pretty dour down here. Not exactly the most inviting decor. What,
I know this is...
What do you reckon this place is?
This looks like a where they would perform their rituals, probably. would Felicity know this? Like, just like off the cuff, just looking at both the Tower of Bones and also the calligraphy on the walls. Or should I make a roll?
Well, I will have you do that in just a moment. But given your proclivity for the way that understanding the way that magic works, the way that rituals connected to the land works, you have only heard whispers of things like this. Something that is a dark, unspeakable force that a long time ago, some of the first inhabitants of the land that's now called the 13 Colonies allied with to purge the settlers and the winds of empire, the British, the French, whatever names they call themselves, whatever flags they fly under, to drive them out from the land. You don't know details. This is the kind of thing that people are afraid to talk about, even in whispers. And I need you to go ahead and make me just a standard resolve test as you sit scrutinizing these paintings and carvings to resist the fear that is beginning to grow deep in your chest.
That's another 1.
I'm gonna spend one of my misfortune tokens to have you reroll.
Fair.
That, please.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a standard roll plus. Nope. You know, it's not a critical failure, but I'll take it. I got a 76.
Okay.
But that would have been a, yeah.
All right. You suffer 12 points of mental peril and
Checks
take
out.
6 conflict or fear.
So 12 hits my first peril threshold, which is, or actually,
Okay.
it's just under it. My first one is a 13.
So it just hits the first number in the big box, right? The 3 plus willpower bonus? Okay.
Yeah, it just hits the first
So
box,
that,
yeah. Not the second.
okay, so that is going to take you down to imperiled. Nothing changes for you at the moment right now, except for your growing sense of unease, if it wasn't already bad enough. And you take 6 conflict as well.
Yep.
Isabel, are you
see...
attempting? Yeah, go ahead.
I just want, yeah. You guys see Felicity visibly, like, her eyes go wide and, like, she pales as she's, like, looking around at everything. Yeah, that's it.
Isabel, as you are...
Sorry, go ahead, Anna.
As you're attempting to check over Jacob's wounds, are you trying to revive him in any way? Or are you just waiting until he is not awake to ask questions to see if he regains consciousness?
Is he injured? Is the first question.
Jacob, were you on moderately, seriously, grievously wounded from last time?
I was not. You you didn't do enough damage to me to really hurt me until, well, I mean, clearly now you're I see the smile on your face, so it's coming. But
Tough old bird. Yeah, so you are not injured mechanically, but you have noticed that this bite mark is beginning to fester rather quickly.
So I'm awake at this point.
I don't know, are you?
I was
I don't know,
asking
am I?
Isabel, do you want to try and wake him up or wait and see what... yeah. Since you were the person that went first to administer first aid, I'm asking you, are you trying to revive him, or what are you doing here?
I'm going to heat up the knife that I have over the flame of a lantern. And while he's still unconscious, because it's the more, well, it's the lesser of two evils, we'll try and cauterize the wounds that is festering. I don't have a spell that does anything for festering, so no magic. I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that, Jacob.
I don't know if I'm going to be happy about this.
Okay.
My head.
So you are attempting to heal him of sepsis here?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any bandages?
Bandages, yes.
Okay. And are you injured at all?
Me?
Yes.
I'm not injured, but I am at 1 skill rank in Ord and on the peril.
1 skill rank in Ord. All right. Go ahead and roll me your heal test for that. It is going to be just a standard difficulty.
Is risk backlash just something in combat or spells, or can I use that on any skill?
Let me see. You know what? Normally you can only use it in combat. I'm okay with you using it now. You could spend a fortune coin to use it now out of a combat turn. I think that seems fair. You know, you're trying to bend luck a little bit to help you out.
I think that works. She's heating up the knife, which is her sacred instrument, mumbling, "And the righteousness does not overtake us. We hope for light, but behold darkness. For brightness we walk in gloom." And then she presses the knife against his wounds. I'm pretty sure that's going to wake you up. Ooh, look at that, 27. That
wow.
That does make it.
Yeah. With a loud scream, I will wake up.
I think because we're in the cavern, she will try and hold her hand over your mouth.
Hey, I don't blame
Just
you.
because
But I'm still screaming.
blood
You
scream
just
may be
burned my
bad.
skull.
Yeah, but it's for your own good. Shh, Brother Jacob, it's all good. It's all good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. Don't take the Lord's name in vain.
Where? I'm a bit woozy here. I can't recall exactly what occurred.
Well, you were taken by some of the devil's very own servants.
That part I do recall. It's the finding myself here with a burning sensation on the back of my head seems to be causing me a bit of a confusion.
Oh, that is me cauterizing the wound. I apologize.
I see. Are the rest of you all right?
Well, we have a true devout follower here, so immediately worried about your traveling compatriots. Yes, for the most part, we are fine, Brother Allen. We were more concerned with how you were doing.
I'll be fine, I think. And I start just kind of checking myself, for wounds and broken things before I slowly try and pick myself up from the ground and just double check things. I'm gonna just say, for flavor's sake, that I probably dropped my lantern and the stuff that was in my hands as I was being pulled into the cavern here. Does someone else have a light source, or are we still in the dark?
Felicity has a lantern.
Okay.
That's currently covered.
Okay. All right. I'm not exactly sure where I am. Where are we?
We're underneath the caretaker's hut, about almost a couple miles down.
I'm sorry. How far? What? I must be feeling extremely woozy. I do apologize. You said a few miles down from a. That's not important. All right.
Yeah.
Did you chase
AJ?
off those creatures?
No,
I see.
I don't
I
think
think they
we
just
did.
left you here. I fully expected to find you half eaten.
We did chase him off. We just chased him off in this direction instead of the other ones.
I do greatly appreciate you risking yourselves to come find me. Thank you. Do we still hear the beating? Is that still prominent in the air?
Yes.
Great.
Jacob,
Okay.
in fact, as you come to lying on this pile of human bones, the beating is such that now it's beginning to vibrate the ground enough that they leap up a little bit and clatter back down towards the earth. I'm going to go ahead and make a routine +10 resolve test to withstand stress from being on a pile of beating human bones. And while you do that, thank you very, very much to RX Oliver for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, 14. I'm
All right.
fine.
You're fine. You
More
quite
worried
literally
about
have
the
had
burn in
worse
the back
things
of my head.
happen to you today. And
Yeah.
you spy as well, illuminated now by the light of Felicity's lantern, the carvings, the paintings, these scenes of horrific ritual sacrifice on the walls. And just off to the side of that a bit, a piece of rope, anchored with a metal ring into the wall that looks to be descending down into another shaft that would lead deeper into these caverns below. Very stale, grave stench air blowing up from the aperture.
I apologize if this seems like an odd question, but do the rest of you hear that? Or is that just my pulse pounding in my head?
No, we can hear it. Brother, can you move? How are your? We should get you off this. We should get you off the bones.
I feel all right. I'll be fine. Thank you.
You if you take a notice, unless you're just still very groggy, Felicity is very I wouldn't say twitchy, but very like obviously upset by something.
Well, clearly, I mean, we should all be very upset right now.
Very
Anna,
upset.
but we're just upset, period.
This is revenge for us being like, yeah, no, you should do a voiceover of the intros. It's fine, it's great.
Do we get a sense of? Can we get any directional sense of where this beating sound's coming from, or is it just kind of all around?
From those of you that have been making your way down and climbing, it does appear that the lower you get, the louder it gets, the easier you are able to feel the walls, the floor vibrating as you go further and further down and descend below this house.
Two questions. One, previously, Anna, you had said that Isabel, Felicity, and Pharaoh and Jacob would hear it, but you did not mention Wynn. Is Wynn able to hear it?
At this point, you can, yes. Previously, it would have been when you are all just wandering around the graveyard, and those characters have, magical intuition that they can use to find the source of malevolent things. But now it is loud and omnipresent enough that you can hear it, yes, and you can feel it. You can also hear the scratching noises of something looking like it is, or sounding like it is descending slowly but methodically down that shaft that you had all just climbed down that led you into this bone room where Jacob is.
Oh, Felicity aims her pistol. She got a gun. She packing.
Yeah, we're on low-key a little bit of a countdown now as that scratching gets louder. So go ahead, Wynn, and then what do you all do?
Got it. So I want to go up to Felicity, and you said smelling salts can reduce mental peril, yes? Okay, I would like to try and use my smelling salts to get Felicity out of the stress and scare, fear that she had from earlier.
Okay. Let me...
By the way, Wynn isn't, careful about any of this. She just comes up to Felicity and is like, here, smell this, and just shoves it underneath her nose.
Do you accept that, Felicity?
Yeah, I don't think she's completely aware of what her allies are doing around her. I think she's focused more on the scratching noise coming from the tunnel.
Okay.
So, yeah, just in her nose, though.
Which is becoming louder, more insistent.
Do the smelling salts do anything?
You go down one step on your peril tracker. And the person who uses them, when you gain a point of conflict for using smelling salts.
That's fair. I feel like I get
generally doing any kind of triage thing in the moment is going to get you some conflict.
Felicity and kind of shoves your hand away a little bit, but then looks at you and she's like, okay, thank you. Of course, this whole place is bad. It's but she definitely still keeps her gun pointed, but now it's a little less
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I don't feel that scratching noise bodes well for us. If we're going to move, I suggest we do it now.
Agreed. Let's let's get a move on.
All right.
We should move quietly.
Quick question, Anna. The shaft that they came down to reach this room, it's just open. There's no door or anything else. It's just an open hole.
Correct. It is just an open shaft with some handholds carved into the side, which is a different one from the one where you see there is a rope leading down. So this other one is a bit wider, drops down. The one that you see is, again, another hole in the ground, but no light coming up from this one this time. Just a rope. You can't tell exactly how far down it goes.
Jacob will kind of rush over to that ring and just double check that the knot is solid, and just kind of make sure that it's not frayed or anything else, and then just kind of look expectantly at everyone, like, come on, let's go.
Okay. So for those of y'all, you're climbing down this rope here. In the dark, the sound of scratching and a familiar ragged breath echoing throughout these hallways. I need you to make me a challenging athletics test, please. So we're trying to do this in the dark while being pursued.
That's negative
all
10,
of us?
yes.
Yes. And challenging adds a... Yes. Challenging is a -10.
Yeah, no. Fuck it. I got a 76, but should I use a coin? No, we may need those coins for later. I'll take my fail.
It's up to you.
I'll take it.
I
Okay.
will also
I want to
take
see what
my
happens.
Okay, so Pharaoh, Felicity both have failed.
Oh, Jacob failed as well.
Jacob failed too. Great.
So did
Let me
I.
guess.
Hey!
Ah, yay! Win, did you do well?
68.
Oh, so close to being nice, but so far away.
Oh.
Oh, you're muted, Win.
I got a 25.
Okay, so when able to make it down without suffering any negative consequences, no one critically failed, did you?
No.
Okay. Those of you who did fail, take 10 peril as the harsh fibers of this rope begin cutting into the palms of your hands, your banging elbows, knees, stubbing toes, and generally making quite the ruckus on your way down this very dark tunnel. Did anybody with a 10 of peril move on the peril tracker whatsoever? Anybody go down? No.
That big
On your
number
first
counts as
3
well.
plus your willpower bonus, that's your first
sorry.
one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
yours.
you
sorry,
should always
right.
be looking at
Yes.
that big box
I'm
first
fucking-
and then the others. So I was like,
Got
no,
it.
it's okay.
My
Did that.
brain
It's okay.
is empty. Yeah, so
Does
I'm
it
on
stack with?
imperiled.
Does it stack with what?
I was gonna say, does it stack with me? Well, no, I did get the smelling salts from earlier, so I got moved back up. So I think I'm back at imperiled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it beats
I'm
your big
at
number,
your-
you go back down one step.
I'm at your 2 skill ranks.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
I have something
Good
once
to
I'm
know,
off the
good
rope
to
that I
know.
can use.
Oh.
But
Oh, God. All right. This is fine. We're fine.
Yes. And I also need everybody, after that spectacular show of percentile dice, to make me an easy resolve test against stress. That is a plus 20 because of the grim and perilous climb down below this house.
Oh, and we still have, well, everyone except Jacob, we still have the booze.
Mm-hmm. So your liquid courage would give you another plus 10, so you're making it at a plus 30.
Just made it. Just made it.
Okay.
I got a
just made it as well.
96.
Okay. You want to use a coin to re-roll that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to.
It's valid. I
No, I don't.
I agree with that.
No, I don't.
I agree with
I
that.
want to use up all the coins.
You
That's
got
a
Give
four.
me more misfortunes. Give me
I know, I don't
misfortunes.
I used
All
the
right.
coin and rolled a 4, and I feel better.
Okay.
I succeeded as well.
Okay. Okay. I think we all succeeded against that. The darkness of this cave system as you descend is overwhelming. A flickering light from Felicity's hooded lantern, pretty much near the only illumination that you have. And as you tumble or crash down towards the bottom of this shaft, a familiar sound greets your ears. The snorting of a ghoul that has smelled its next meal looks up from the long desiccated carcass of whatever it is it was feasting upon. It makes eye contact with you, Isabel. It is going to lash out at you with its tongue again. So similar to the ones that had attempted to rope Felicity and Jacob in the graveyard up ahead. So I am gonna spend my misfortune point to re-roll that because it was bad. All right, and that is a success. You are gonna take 9 points of damage as this long, ropey tongue lashes out, grabs you at the center of the chest, just begins to squeeze. We are now in a combat, so we are moving into using AP for things like that. We will still pass the torch, but I would like to give Isabel a second to respond if there is anything that you would like to do.
Well, scream, for once, because I think that's appropriate. Are we still on the rope now, or have we come down? Let's just...
You have come down into a very much smaller than the previous cavern, but it is still a small cave system.
So
there was a hole down there.
I will try and get out of this tongue-tickle.
Okay. So let us go ahead and have you... What am I looking for here? let's go ahead and have you resist athletics against the ghoul's toughness here. Try and get out of that.
Yeah, that's 23. However, I have 2 skill ranks ignored. With the skill ranks ignored, does that mean it's just minus 20, or is it just if I have skill ranks, I ignore them?
It's if you have skill ranks, you ignore them. So if you don't have any skill ranks in whatever you're trying to do, you don't take additional penalties. But if you do, you ignore them.
Right.
And Ghoul Buddy here rolls.
Actually made it then.
Okay. So Ghoul Buddy rolled a 91 over here, so you are able to get out of this this grab that the ghoul has here. At this point is when the Bane from the Chaos Course is going to come in. So thank you very much. Because in the adventure as she is writ, there is a ghoul down here. But in the adventure as she is played, the scratching and ragged breathing has caught up with you as 2 more ghouls come crawling down the walls, breathing themselves like awkward mammalian spiders down this shaft. And where this vein comes in is that these ghouls are hungry. This is a feature of the way that the ghouls work mechanically. It makes them extra vicious when they deal damage to you, because they want to eat.
How?
The last
I'm
two. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm also at lightly wounded. I don't think there's a roll yet, or is there?
Not yet.
Cool.
Not yet. Who would you like to pass initiative to as these come crawling down out of the chamber?
So she breaks away from the. I'm gonna say it again. Might as well. From the tongue tackle.
It's a thing now.
It's a thing. I made it a thing. I have regrets, but now I'm doubling down. And yeah, because of certain actions committed in Green Room chat, she will fall into Pharaoh and kind of half stumble, trying to get away, trying to scramble away, and then point into the direction of the thing, which, you know, everyone has seen already, and hide behind him.
Yeah, I think I would like to shoot that thing. I don't much like it. I don't know what else to do.
You want to shoot the one that tried to go after Isabel? Mm-hmm.
Yes, but by the way, I have a thing that I've been forgetting to do. My diplomat quark at the beginning of every turn, I have to roll a d6, and if I get a 6, I lose 1 action point. But I rolled a 1, so we're gonna ignore that for now.
Just one quick thing, because I think it has been a while since we did this with some guns. Don't forget, you also can do your targeted attack, so you can essentially call a shot, and the foe will have to defend or suffer combat conditions. Or you also have your ability to take aim, which will increase your ability to actually hit what you're trying to go for. So that costs AP. Yeah.
And I will say, I forgot that we, in this game, are reusing the fortune tokens rather than take them away completely. So, have at them.
Yes. You'll need them. You will need them.
How reassuring.
Alright, with that having been said, I believe that I'm going to make a... I'm going to spend 1 AP and take aim, and then make a ranged attack using these die.
All right, so that adds a plus 10.
Increase my base chance. Yes, indeed. Good. That's a 22. Get fucked, nerd.
Critical success. Nice, go for it.
Yeah. So that would be...
that gives you
2d6 instead of 1.
Mm-hmm. And if your weapon has any other particular tags or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just a basic pistol, unfortunately. Oh my god. Well, luck has to run out at some point. That's double ones on the damage.
Oof.
That's
Wait a second, though. This is a gunpowder weapon, yeah?
It's a flintlock, yes.
And Flames of Freedom, your wands explode when you use black powder weapons, in addition to your 6s.
Gas!
So you have 2 exploding dice there.
Awesome. So that's 2.
Suck it hard, nerd.
I got
Apparently,
another 1.
Jeez.
And a 5. So we're at 8, and 1s explode, so I guess we'll roll it again. And that's another 5, so 13 damage.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
How
do you want to obliterate this ghoul to oblivion with your basic
when
bitch pistol?
Isabel falls into Pharaoh will just reach out with one hand and wrap a shoulder around her, and in that same hand sort of flourish the pistol forward and aim around Isabel's head and fire toward the ghoul.
Okay.
My hero.
And it drops. The other 2, however, seeing what has happened to their buddy that so kindly tried to bring them a delicious meal, are going to lash out with their claws, 1 at Pharaoh, 1 at Jacob, because he's been marked and gotten away from them before. They're none too happy about that. So we will go ahead and have that for Pharaoh first. It's going to go after you with its claws. Oof, that is a 32. Pharaoh, do you have any AP banked after that?
I have 1 AP left. Is that enough damage,
Okay.
or do I need 2?
You could... Let me just double check so I don't say this the wrong way.
I
Oh.
think you need one to defend.
Yes. Yeah, combat-based or coordination test. So you'd make a coordination, gotta beat a 32.
No, not even close. That is an 83.
Okay. So, because these guys are hungry, where's my other d6? That's going to be... 12 points of damage for you, which I think hits your first and second thresholds. Is it anything more than that?
It hits my first and second, so I am now grievously wounded.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and have you roll 2d6 for me, see if you sustain any injuries. No, wait, grievous wounded. Sorry, that's 3d6.
I had a wound on a 6, right?
Correct.
I sustained 3 injuries.
Okay.
Triple 6s.
Give me just 1 second. I need to pull this up.
Ouch.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
He's just mad you critted his friend.
Apparently giving it back, right?
Okay. We'll do this narratively, and I'll let you know what all of the mechanics are for these in just a second. So this ghoul, with one of its talons, goes right towards your rib cage. One of the talons sinks deep into your chest, right between the ribs, and punctures a lung. Hurts like a white-hot knife, hitting you right between the ribs. As it holds you with your ribs like caught around its talons, takes a swipe at you with the other claw, breaking open your nose and knocking you down to the ground. You are bleeding, which means that if you do not have... yeah, what's up?
Can I use the determination point to have that not happen?
Determination point for yourself, I think, not other characters. Yeah, everybody has a single determination point that you can use to avoid suffering one injury, avoid being slain, or become incapacitated. You could use it because you all just kidding. So if you wanted to use any of those to mitigate injuries, Pharaoh, you could, but I will leave that up to you. Okay. You are bleeding. If you do not have bandages or essentially emergency medical treatment, you will bleed out in a number of minutes equal to your brawn bonus. So, there we go. Who would you like to pass initiative to?
I think that Brother Allen probably is ready to get some holy retribution.
I think that's a astute observation, sir. So just so I'm getting the sense of the room that we're in before I decide what I'm going to do. So we climb down the rope.
Mm-hmm.
All hell broke loose. Where do we see exits from this room? How many are there, and where are they in relation to what's happening right now?
That's a great question.
I think it's a very pertinent question.
All right. If you were spending a moment to basically like get a read on the situation or something like that, I could have you, because it's very dark and shadowy, and between the ghouls and the lack of light, except from Felicity's lantern right here, there's a lot of weird shadows getting cast off of the walls, and the sound bouncing off of it's very disorienting. But could do a test for 1 AP to see if you can find an exit.
But as long as there's like, we're not like a super tiny room, like even if the room extends into darkness, okay, that's fine. So there's room to move around. All right, gotcha.
There is room to move around, yes. I wasn't sure if you were going specifically for like, yeah. Okay.
No. All right. So there could be more in the darkness. All right. We don't know where to go, and Pharaoh's getting eaten alive. Awesome. Got it. Okay. Jacob is going to look around for a moment. He's going to reach under his jacket and pull out the knife that he has at his belt and just leap past Isabel. And I'm going to go ahead and take a targeted attack to the ghoul's head. The one that is attack arrow. And I'm going to risk backlash up to 3 levels to make sure that I make this hit.
Okay. So you take 3 conflict for that.
Yep. Aware.
That's fine.
Okay, so 47. So that's, I needed a 67 to hit. I rolled a 66.
The critical success.
So just made it, and critical success.
Cool. And
so
you were hitting this thing
work?
with
my
your
knife in its
knife.
head. This is the first attack I've done since we've been playing. All I've been doing is shove attacks. So I have no idea how to do damage here.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, my goodness. Let's see. Other considerations. Yeah, so it would be 2d6 for your damage dice, and then I'm looking for which combat conditions you've got here.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, it would be the, let's see, you did this as a targeted attack, right? Okay, so this means that you can decide whether you want your foe to be gutted. They have to spend extra AP to move. Choked, gives them peril. Disoriented, extra AP for reactions. Or prone, which is kind of self-explanatory. It's easier to hit them when they're prone.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do prone. I'm just kind of leaping on him and just stabbing this thing in the head repeatedly. 6 points of damage.
Okay. Nicely done. Okay.
And Jacob is...
Was that a 6 on the
point, die? No, it was a combination of 6. No exploding dice.
That would have been nice.
Wah, wah. He's just yelling out. Go ahead.
You can use a coin to make it a 6.
Yes. If you want to do that, you can use a coin to auto-explode your... I know.
Oh, hell yes, I'm doing that.
Okay. Okay, so you still have 2 dice to roll. Are you spending 1 coin to make 1 a 6, or 2 to make 2 6s?
I will 1 to make 1 a 6. I don't want to get greedy.
Okay, so you will have 2 dice, and then the first will explode.
Okay, we'll do that.
Let me just...
All right. So make that 9 damage.
Okay. And it is also prone.
Prone. With me straddling it on top. Just...
Yep.
Raining fury down.
It.
Just, yep. You know. And those of you that maybe are paying attention or not, hear him just yelling out in a different voice than you guys have heard. In this language. If any of you speak Russian, you understand it. If you don't, you have no idea what the hell he's saying, but he has just lost his shit.
All right, who'd you like to, I think you're out of AP. Who'd you like to pass to?
I should have 1 AP left, but I'm gonna save that for a reaction,
okay.
and I'm gonna pass it to Felicity.
Awesome, excellent. You're straddling 1 ghoul. There's a second one that hasn't been dealt with yet, correct?
Yes, there is one dead one with a splody head, one that Jacob is currently stabbing the heck out of, and then there is one that is as yet uninjured.
Okay. Felicity is going to run up to where Jacob has the one prone, put her pistol to that one's head, and shoot it.
Okay. We will go ahead and, because of the situation, this is an easy shot, so a plus, because it's when you're shooting it at point blank range.
Yeah. I'm using... I forget if it's simple melee or martial range or simple ranged.
Martial
it's simple
ranged.
Ranged. It's listed.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
Yeah.
It should be there, but
it was. I missed it. So 4 plus 20. That's 6. That's 3.
To hit.
A 3. To hit, yes.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage for that. Dear Lord.
It's prone. It's already being stabbed. It comes over. Just... So for damage, it just says 4. Alright, I'm reading that wrong.
This would be your, is it your D6 plus 4? What are you using?
Oh! It's a pistol.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Then yeah, that's a 4 on the die, so 8.
8. Excellent. We can move this buddy down to moderately injured. Go ahead and roll me a d6 to see if we got ourselves an injury here.
5?
Nothing yet. It has taken some damage, but no injury yet. Okay.
And so that was just 1 AP, I think, to fire.
Yes.
Yes. And then with one more AP, as the gunpowder goes off inside the pistol, it hits the ghoul beneath Jacob. Felicity is going to whisper to that spark to bludgeon with elements and hit the other ghoul with fire.
So
incantation roll.
So you're technically able to do one attack or one spell. Is there anything in the spell that lets you still do it on the same? Yeah, you can either attack or use magic in a single turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
But yeah, if you want to basically like narrate that you're winding up for the next thing that you do, I'm okay with that. I just wanted to let you know we'll wait on the roll for that.
Then I'll have that. Then I'll hold that for the next round. I'm gearing up to shoot some fire at the other ghoul.
Very cool. Very cool.
And I'm gonna bank one more AP for dodging purposes.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right.
And I'll pass the turn to Win.
Sounds good. Before Win goes, I'm gonna have the ghouls go ahead and make their thing as well. Make their move as well. The injured one that's currently underneath Jacob is going to try and get up out from underneath you. However, because you are stabbing it in the head, I'm going to have it make its test be arduous. Let's put it that way. It's already injured. So I need you to go ahead and make athletics or coordination to keep it pinned down, Jacob, and then I will have the ghoul try to assist it, but it's going to be arduous for him.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that is a 19 on my part.
Yep, you're great. The ghoul failed its roll, and you're good. So you are still keeping it firmly in place.
Okay.
The last one there is going to, the one that is as of yet uninjured, attempting to... Pharaoh's lying on the ground. It's going to go after Isabel again. They seem to have honed in on you. And it's going to try and run up and hit you with its claws.
But I am innocent.
Oh! So that succeeds. Do you have any AP banked or anything like that that you wanted to use to defend?
Yes, please.
Go for it.
I'd basically just stumble out and do anything else. So that is...
And 30.
I'm using a token.
Okay.
And I'm still getting... Do I still... Yeah, from Jacob's thing, I think. It's a 10.
Mhm.
That's worse. I think. Yeah, that's 100. So, that's
Love.
bad.
It's not
Yes.
great. It's not great.
Look. You had to go crit fail, so I can't not crit fail as well.
Oh, yeah, right. Gotta be in sync. Good point.
It's a brand at this point.
So
Can only
I'm
use one
going
token,
to
right?
use, I'm going to use one of my misfortune tokens to explode to a 6.
Oh, you bastard. Love you, Anna.
I love you too. Okay. 20 points of damage from this as it pummels at you with its claws.
What? That's damage.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's 1, 2, 3. Hello, Gravesley.
Don't-
Ghouls.
I was about to
You
say,
think
I
these
don't think
ghouls have
that's
ever
enough
heard
to
of, like,
kill you
pizza?
outright.
was
But
very
Maybe we could
close.
just
Like,
introduce them to
that one was-
hamburgers, and they'll be cool.
Let's just get them.
Alright.
Like, why not just make them vegan right away?
Just like
So
give them like
3d6
a
for
nice
me.
salad.
Gee, what the fuck are you doing to me?
Babe, nothing. You have
what
determination
happened?
point.
Oh no. Oh no.
So I only have
How
2
many
d6s here. I'm
sixes?
rolling the third one. The first 2 I rolled are 2 6s. Third one is a 2, but 2 6s. Fuck's sake.
Legacy of 2 6s
Hey,
lives on
injury buddy.
horribly. Okay.
Yeah. I'm using
Are
one
you
of
gonna
those
spend any
determinations.
determination?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause I need to save that fucker as well, so I can't just die here.
Hi, that's me. I'm
Okay.
Fucker. How are
Yeah.
y'all?
Okay. So, let's see. Okay. So the as it shoots its talons out towards you to swat you, it begins, you think that you have got a second to just move out of the way, and as you are raising a hand up to defend yourself from it, it gets you across the neck and tears up the lower part of your left arm. You are now bleeding as well, and it is red and gushing. This is a cut artery injury. You need pretty much immediate medical attention. And
Does that mean that
I'm going to just, as our 5 subs event point in, Jacob, in the back of your mind, as you know, you have, with almost unseen, unheard of before, steely determination, gone after this ghoul, a man of God, a man of peace, simply wailing on this abominable creature that is undead.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
A voice whispering in the back of your mind, like it's coming out of the shadows behind you.
No.
It says, do it. Give in.
Oh, I don't like you.
Make them pay. Who would we like to pass initiative to?
Well, it was supposed to be.
It is
my
Wynn's turn.
It is Wynn. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I had forgotten. But a lot going on.
No.
What would you like to do, Wynn?
No, you're fine. So there's still one standing ghoul, yes?
Yes, the one that just raked across Isabel's throat.
Yes. So I have a question.
Yep.
You said that you can only do one attack and one spell. Can you do 2 attacks in one round? No.
It's
Okay.
one attack or one use magic. You can use the dirty tricks if you want to do that, or any of the other actions in combat, but no more than one attack.
Got it. Makes sense. So I would like to. Is the ghoul facing Isabel currently?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I would
it's
like
got
to
its
walk up
attention
behind-
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to walk up behind it and put my pistol on the side of its head and pull the trigger.
Okay. It is not particularly aware of your presence, but it is a very large creature. Did you want to? Are you using this as your targeted shot here, or are you doing like take aim or anything
Yes.
like that? Okay.
I would like to target the shot.
Target the head.
Also,
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how tall they are, but if you do remember,
You
I
are
am
very tall. Yeah.
I am very tall.
So you're not gonna take a penalty to shoot it in the head because of how tall you are. I was just asking if you wanted to take aim because that will give you a +10 to your chance. But it's up to you.
No, I have other things I want to do with that.
All right. So 1 AP to call the shot. 1 hit. Go ahead and make that roll for me.
Okay. That is a 36.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage for me.
Okay. So I got a 6.
That'll explode.
So that
Very
explodes. Very good. So I have a question. I just rolled a 1, and it's a black gunpowder.
good. That explodes
Does
as
that
well.
explode again? Okay. So
Yep.
that's 7. And then I use a coin to make that one explode.
Okay.
So that is 15 points of damage.
Okay.
Is it still alive?
It is, however, we have got a serious wound for this buddy. So go ahead and roll me 2d6 to see if it sustains any injuries. And then you get to choose which of the combat conditions apply to it because of the headshot. It can be gutted, choked, doesn't really apply. I guess maybe you could have shot it like in the neck or something, disoriented, or knocked prone. So you get to pick one of those and tell me if you rolled any 6s.
Okay, I rolled 1 6.
Okay.
And then I'm going to choose disoriented, and I would like to use my last AP to put it in a chokehold.
Excellent. So let me go ahead and roll that injury just in case that affects anything. 61. Yes, and it is indeed bleeding from this shot to the head. So, chokehold. You go ahead and make your test, athletics or toughness. This thing is going to resist athletics or be choked.
I got a 3.
Oh, and the ghoul rolled a 28. I want to use one of my misfortune points to make you have to re-roll that 3, because ouch. Yeah, 28 is the number to beat. You can do it again.
Okay. How about a 2? I used different dice.
What
Wow.
demonic
What?
lord did you promise your soul to in exchange for this level of power?
Hannah, I think the technical term for that is suck it.
These Hamiltons sure are feisty.
They get the job done. Okay.
Some would say they're scrappy.
Yeah.
And hungry.
No, that's the ghouls you're thinking of. They're hungry at the start of combat.
Yeah. Ah, see.
Hey.
Makes sense.
The ghouls are all the refuted farmers. Okay, so this thing is now in a chokehold. Go ahead and roll me a d10 plus your brawn bonus to see how much peril this thing is in. And it is bleeding.
10.
Plus your brawn bonus, or you rolled a 10 on the
No, it was 6 plus my brown bonus.
10 total? Okay.
Yes.
All right. And yeah, it is still choked. Who would you like to pass initiative to?
I believe let's go back up to Isabel.
Isabel is on. A lot of things happened there. So Pharaoh, she was hiding behind, was struck down. Oh, Win, if you mute. Pharaoh, she was hiding behind, was struck down in front of her, opening up the thing to fuck her over with the claws. I think they're kind of still close to each other, still sort of in a bleeding pile at this point. She is filled with a rage that is incredibly new to her. That is incredibly unusual for her. And it is something that I think I can use, because it's not a spell, it's a talent. It is almost ignoring that pain, that adrenaline rush. It's called Mana of God. I move up on the damage and the peril threshold once each. So that's what I'm
Very
gonna do for
nice.
1 AP. That's it, works. She also, looking at Pharaoh, who she was concerned with first and foremost, realizes he is close to death, sees the injuries, and fumbles for one of the amulets around her neck, an item given to her by her mother, which has a precious stone in a keltinot, a leather piece, and the stone aside. She uses her knife to stab that stone to crush it. Casting a spell, at this point not caring who can see it and who can't. Muttering words that at this point are also not a Bible verse or anything that can be understood by human ears. Casting petition to the mountain. Pharaoh, you cannot be made to bleed or suffer damage by normal means or injuries, but you also cannot jump, run, or swim. As a movement action, you can only use maneuver. You cannot attack anything, but you are basically cocooned and can't really take any more damage right now.
She
and
turned
this
you
lasts...
into the thing from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but less clobber time. It lasts for 8 hours.
Okay.
You can still walk around, you can still speak. It's just you're not very fast right now. Your skin hardening. You probably don't quite know what is happening, but you see. Yeah, why not? Let's go with a little bit of black veins around her eyes. That good old witch willow look.
What color are Isabel's eyes?
Normally grey. They are bloodshot at this point, but there is a little bit of darkness seeping in.
You cast out this incantation, and as it goes through, and you see Pharaoh's skin begin to harden, they begin to rally a bit from the horrific injuries that these ghouls have inflicted on them. Jacob, the whispering in the back of your mind is only getting louder and more insistent. Put it down with the fury of a righteous man. And Isabel, as you have finished your incantation, the ghoul that had previously raked its claws across your throat opens its mouth, like again it's unhinging its jaw, like a large snake about to digest a meal. It bellows. It is so loud it begins echoing throughout the chamber. I need everyone to please go ahead and make a resolve test to resist stress.
Even though it's disoriented and in a chokehold?
It can still do this.
That's fine if it can.
But I will say that, because this is a thing that's specific to it and it's not an attack, it is still horrifying and very dangerous. But yeah, I will say that we keep this standard for your stress or for your resolve test, because you do have it kind of on the ropes.
And welcome raiders from the LFM network. We are currently
hi.
That is all you need to know.
We're currently
yes, they are. But they're doing a great job. Yeah.
Liver Tunosky 1 and 2. I got a 33.
Hey, I got an 11.
Oh,
Crit, please.
Hey,
oh my god. I hate all of you. I love you, but
You hate us? You hate us?
I got a 22.
Have you been here for the past 2 hours?
Fucking 22 as well.
how is this accomplished?
Crit party.
I
What
got
did
you.
I do
rolled
wrong?
an 83.
It's the
Of course you
trailer.
did.
It's the goddamn trailer voice. It's because you heard me do this, and this is how I've been repaid for putting it out. Wait, Lydia, real quick though. We have 3 people that rolled crit successes. When you do that, you are able to pass that success on to another character. Go ahead. So you don't have to re-roll.
Good,
But-
because
yes.
the reroll was an 88.
Oh, god damn it, lady. What is
So-
What's happening? I don't know.
I don't know
Chat,
what's
if we could
happening
please-
either.
Just donate new dice to Lydia, because that would be nice.
You need your dice to be like blessed.
Give your dice to
Something.
Jacob. He's gonna take care of this.
Can-
The angels.
Can we rechristen your dice with some whiskey? Because that's where my head's at right now. I'm just like, oh my god, 3 critical successes against this. Unbelievable. You don't
I'm
need
wearing the shirt
booze
of-
anymore.
Whiskey Society.
Holy crap. Okay, so you all are still just courageous and emboldened here now that these ghouls have done their worst. Who shall we pass initiative to, or did you already? And I just forgot it in the midst of all of the crit success against horror, death, and the chill of the grave.
No, I was a bit busy with everything being worse. I want to see how Pharaoh reacts to the mountain spell.
Yes. What do they do?
Pharaoh will definitely.
raise
So I'm
me
no
up.
longer bleeding.
No longer bleeding.
Okay.
Hold on,
Pharaoh
I need to
will
kick
sort
Mickey
of
real quick.
kick it for the remix. Yeah. Pharaoh will stand and sort of grab at the wounds that are still there that they simply can't feel at the moment, and sort of look at because the glasses are fucked by this point. Like the normal like Technicolor shades that they normally wear are totally gone, and you see that the heterochromia of the amber and the green eye, the amber eye is now clouded over gray, and Pharaoh just like nods a little confused. And I can't shoot things, so I am gonna use a fucking man. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna Can I try and staunch the bleeding on Isabel? I have bandages.
Yes. So I believe. Yeah, mechanically, we're just gonna call this an apply tourniquet because you're basically doing like a field dressing here. So, yeah, it would be 3 AP, so it's your entire turn if that's what you want to do at this time, and then you do have a bandage.
Yes, and I absolutely am fine with using all 3 AP.
Go ahead and make me your heal test then.
That is a 39, which is a success.
Fantastic. So you have got the bleeding has stopped. So still got injuries that are gonna need some attention later, but yeah, that will be your 3 AP.
And I will pass initiative to the definitely wholly and totally mentally stable Brother Allen.
Oh yeah. I'm everything's fine. I haven't stopped stabbing this ghoul repeatedly around the face and neck and head. So let's just do another targeted attack at its head with the knife. I'm just
Okay.
Yeah, this is, I gotta end this thing. Okay. So that is a 3. So I'm gonna assume that is a successful hit.
Yes, it is.
Okay. You said 2 dice, right?
It's 2 for a crit.
Oh, okay. So
you're doing this with your knife, right? Yeah. But you can use your coins to make it auto-explode if you like.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
All right, so 4 points damage.
Okay. is continuing to bleed. The cacophony in your mind only getting louder and louder. Finish the thing until it is done. You will not stop until the work is over here. I'm going to have you take 2 points of conflict as you are continuing to work on the stabbing of this thing in the head.
Well, that's interesting that you say that. You might have me take more conflict because after I hear that, I still have an AP left. I'm going to stand up and step off of the thing in defiance of the voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I just stop stabbing even though it's not dead and just push myself up and take a couple steps back and just stare off, 1,000-yard stare into the darkness where I'm hearing the voice.
Give me a challenging roll here. Resist fear. Challenging
resist
resolve.
Resolve. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it's one of my better skills.
Challenging resolve.
All right. Challenging is 10%. So I rolled a 16. So yeah, I'm fine.
So you're fine. Okay.
Yep.
For now, Felicity, what are you up to?
For now.
For now. Yeah, Felicity is looking at Jacob with concern as he gets off of the ghoul. Both, like, at first, like, are you injured? And then seeing him have that 1,000-yard stare, just like, okay, you're dealing with something. There's still a living ghoul right now, though.
There's still two. One that's still on the ground, and then yeah.
The one that's directly in front of Felicity, like at her feet, and then there's the other one that Wynn has in a chokehold. But Felicity will deal with Jacob later.
Okay.
She has an eye on him, but she's really concerned about the threat at her feet.
Okay. Was this the one that you wanted to use that fire magic on, if I remember correctly?
No, the one that you wanted to use fire magic on was the one that is being chokehold by Wynn.
Okay. So yeah, now would be your chance if you would like to do that. So.
Oh, okay. I thought the ghouls would do something and then my turn. But sweet. Alright, roll this incantation. Ooh, I am going to re-roll that because that is an 80.
Oof,
I don't
okay.
want to throw. I do not want to throw fire at Wynn. That's a bad time. I think that gets it. My incantation. Nope. That is another. That's a 59 on the other one. So yep. So just a. It's not a critical failure. So.
Right. So what does this look like? As it will not hit your ally, but
it doesn't.
As your spell fails to happen the same. Do you shoot it wide, or does your magic falter?
I think it just
point.
falters. Like she tries to get the spirit of fire to do things, and she knows like sometimes the spirit of fire is finicky, and this one was very much just like nope, deuces. So nothing happens. She is going to. So wait, does that count as my action?
Your use magic does, yes.
Yes. Okay. In that case, I still banked 1, so I'm gonna use 2 action points to load my gun, and I am going to. I'm going to hold this ghoul down with my foot. This is a smart idea.
Okay. All right. You're attempting to like stop it from getting up then. I will say since it's already prone, I'm not going to make you roll like a knockdown or anything like that, but if it does try to get up, we'll have to resist against your athletics.
Yes. Okay. And I am going to pass to Isabel. Did you already go?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Did everyone have a go before me? Yeah.
I know Wynn hasn't gone.
I
yet.
didn't.
Yeah, I think when
Okay. Then
yeah.
Then Wynn, go.
And win.
Okay.
Isabel's just gargling on the floor.
Yeah, you're having a time.
All right. I would like to use my action to try and chokehold / garrote this ghoul.
Okay. So you've got it in your chokehold already. You're not going to have to roll for that again. It will get to do it on its turn to resist. But you're actually like trying to do your damage with it. So go ahead and you know what? Don't even make the attack roll because you already have it chokeholded and it's being garroted. Roll your damage on this. That makes sense.
I got 5 damage, so plus my brawn bonus, yes?
Yep.
So that would be 9.
Okay. The ghoul is still struggling and thrashing about underneath the grasp of your garrote, but as it is continuing to just like thrash about, its movements are getting weaker and you feel a wetness seeping up through the bottoms of your shoes and socks as you realize that you have been standing in a puddle of black, thick blood, like sticky tar, as this ghoul has been continuing to bleed out from its injuries. Go ahead and make me a resolve test against stress.
Ew. Okay.
You're squeezing something that has holes in its meat costume, so
That's true.
sticky stuff's gonna come out. Okay, all right. You just steel yourself against it. It registers, but it isn't as horrifying as it would be normally.
Cool.
What else have you got?
I've got 2 AP left.
Okay.
Can I... Hold on, where to go? Can I try and eye gouge this ghoul?
Yes. Alright. Eye gouge. Needs to resist awareness. I'm going to have it roll that at a
It's
minus
guile
10.
or... Okay.
Yeah. Because it's aware that you're there, but because it's being garroted is a little bit, otherwise engaged. Oof.
I got a 24.
Okay. So it is currently choked, disoriented, and bleeding out. You've got this thing on its last, really.
I'm gonna bank my last AP.
Okay. The ghoul that had been previously lying on the ground is going to try and get up out of having Felicity's foot pushing it down into the earth. So I'm going to, let's see. Felicity, you can make an athletics or proportion test. I'm going to have this ghoul try and coordinatedly maneuver out. No matter where you are.
39.
Oh, wow. The ghoul did not roll well enough for that, so it is just continuing to struggle and squirm and writhe under your almost unnaturally strong stomp. And then Wynn, the one that you are currently garroting, is going to try and resist that chokehold against your athletics or toughness. And I'm having it do that at a minus 20 because of the other comp conditions that you've inflicted upon it. What'd you get?
A 10.
Oh my goodness.
You're like
Unbelievable.
the anti. You're the anti Lydia right now. Like
Unstoppable.
you have all of the look.
Unstoppable. All right. So the ghouls, as they are struggling, trying, and failing to get up out of the predicament that the two of you have left them in, we are actually going to end this session a little bit early here, because one of our players has to get going, but not before. We're able to keep these ghouls effectively incapacitated long enough for the blood to drain out of them. If you can harry and harass something even as strong and powerful as this for as long as you have and manage to stay alive, well, that's something very few can boast of and even will forget. I'd like everyone to take 2 conflict from the stress and near death in certain cases that this fight took. And Felicity, as you watch the ghoul that you have your heel just digging into its chest, as this dark shadow begins to leave its eyes and it exhales its last ragged breath, you get a sudden flash, almost like a vision, a dream, but a true dream, one that you know has something to do with your sight. This would be the sight with the capital S.
Yes.
Of a figure deeper in these tunnels. not far from where you are now. Their face hidden behind a mask, what appears to be carved out of a human skull. It's kind of got that lower jaw missing, some of the broken, jagged teeth covering the mouth. You can see the lips moving, but oddly silent. You can't hear anything that it appears to be saying. The mask has been painted with black and red paint, almost as though it's some sick artistic rendition of what a ghoul's face looks like after it's done feasting. And as the speaker continues to intone whatever chant it is that you are unable to hear, unable to understand, everyone inexplicably feels a chill on the back of your spines. As you have the feeling that whatever it is that this entity is saying has woken up more of these creatures on the ground above you in the graveyard of the common burial ground. And the last thing you see, Felicity, before we conclude our adventure for this evening, is that as the figure turns its head to the side, where the mask should just be resting lightly on the cheek, the bone and the paint almost appears to be growing into the side of the face, as if it's becoming fused with the flesh below it. And you hear a whisper. Ah, they're here. That's where we're going to end tonight's Boston Besieged adventure.
That was a
Not
good
cool.
one.
It's fine,
folks.
it's fine.
That was a
Cool.
good one. I'm sure that wasn't foreboded at all. That
No,
person's
no,
just
no,
talking about, like, you know, their Uber Eats order.
My Uber Eats is here.
Yeah.
You are the
Shut up,
Uber
you
Eats.
know?
The ghouls were waiting for 45
Oh,
minutes.
shit.
Yeah.
The worst Groupon experience ever.
Bad analogy. Bad analogy, D. Oh.
Good. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Amazing. So we will do some just quick debriefs, outros, etc. here. I'm going to ask Nikki to go first because I know that you have another stream that you've got to get to. So any thought what the heck just happened? And who are you? Where can we find you? Plug any projects you have coming up.
Hi, it's me. Felicity is shook right now, but I'm doing okay. If you want to follow me, I'm the Wig DM on Twitter. That's where I post all of my stuff going on. Literally in the next 30 minutes over on the Craftic Studios channel, I will be playing Nia Durant, the sassy bard, where some things are about to happen there on the our campaign saving base. So if you want to check that out, we're over there. Thursday, I will be on Final Show Films playing a goblin named Scuzz, who's a sweet, wholesome, butter child. He's great. And if you want to come to my channel, Slady's ATL, on Friday, we'll be doing a Sailor Moon style campaign on that channel as well. Yeah, come check me out.
Wonderful. And yeah, just as a quick thing also, because I forgot to say it at the moment, was that vision that Felicity got of the skull mask person was thanks to the ridiculous number of gifted subs that y'all poured out in the chat during this episode. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you. I had like one eye on it part of the time, like, I don't know what's going on. But you made this happen, so thanks for that. Time will tell what our characters make of it. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Let's go ahead and move on to, I almost called you Jacob, to Jeff. How's Jacob doing? How's Beth doing?
Well, I mean, Jeff's doing fine. I mean, Jeff is concerned, clearly. Jacob is also concerned for different reasons. I'm just shocked that I lived through the episode. So like, that's a win. That's a win for me. Like, I'm good. So I'm super stoked. Looking forward for next week. In the meantime, folks, if you want to follow me, you can always catch me on Twitter at the Mighty Jerk. All my projects are there. I tweet about stuff there, so no need to take up your time here with that. Just give me a follow, and I will hook you up with all the goings on in Jerdville. So, yep.
Jerdville, love it. Oh, Fenway and Wynn, our combat MVP, as it turns out. I know that I've mentioned a couple times that the garrote is actually my favorite weapon in the Zweihander system. You've given me so many ideas how I want to use this as a player now. How is it? How are you after all of this?
Well, I'm doing well, and Wynn is way more excited than she should be. But that's a story for another time. But I am Fenway Jones, or Fenway the Teen DM on Twitter. I do lots of different things. My main project right now is Jasper's Game Day, my charity organization. And then I also play over at So Many Games on every Sunday night on the episode called, or the show called The Duval and Dragons, and I play a much different character who is like the innocent, like very happy-go-lucky Marcoka. She's a blast. But yeah, go make sure to check that out, and check out jaspersgameday.com too.
Yes, thank you. And D, Pharaoh, our fellow that turned out to have a heart of stone, both in a very literal way, like being rock solid in a very literal way. How are you doing at the end of this most ridiculous episode?
I was looking up character creation partway through that episode, so I'm like interested to see how it goes. Magic's cool. I got to drop the little in-universe flavor bit that Pharaoh takes the eye color of whoever uses powerful magic on him. His grandmother used to have amber eyes. His natural eye color is green. Yeah, Pharaoh is weirdly peaceful at the moment. I'm kind of taking like the magic is having a calm effect on Pharaoh as well, so it'll probably all come crashing down on them when that wears off. But hi, I'm D, or it's the Riddler. I am a voice actor, streamer, professional GM with the Emerald City Game Masters Guild. You can catch me tomorrow on Critical Misses, where I run my Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition game, Under a Pale Cold Sun, which is very fun. And you can catch me this Thursday over on the Noir Enigmas channel for the premiere of our D&D game, The Lonely Throne, which is going to be an absolute blast. I'm very excited for the premiere. I think people are going to be a big fan of it. But yeah, that's me. I'm D.
Excellent. And Lydia.
Hello, I'm Lydia.
Maybe you may have set a record tonight.
Let's not talk about that.
Maybe?
Let's not talk about the dice. Let's not talk about what they've done to me. We'll have a chat. I did sprinkle whiskey all over them and partly all over the monitor, which I have to clean up, but that is in 5 minutes Lydia's problem. Don't worry, most of the whiskey made it into the glass. But I'm Lydia, I'm Half-Hearst Hermit, and I am here on a roleplay all day, every day, behind the scenes, usually, or sometimes here on camera when they let me out. I am the GM for Song of the Deep on Monday, which is my baby, and I love it dearly. 8 p.m. EST, and of course, as with all of our shows, you can catch up with all of that on YouTube. The link is in chat. Neat playlists for this one, as well as everything else we've pretty much ever done. We also have, of course, our Discord. If you want to join, feel free to do that. Have a look around the community, see if it's for you. And this is also where we post casting calls for future games, so check it out. For me, you can also find me on Colonomicord's channel, because why not? And this is where we'll do the bi-weekly GM post-mortem. And on, is it this Sunday? It is this Sunday. I think it is Sunday. It's the 6th. Yes, it is this Sunday. We're playing
Yes.
10 Candles, and I'll be GMing that. And I'm slightly terrified and very excited, but it should be good. Everything else, have a look at my Twitter. That's usually where I remember to post things. And that's me. I'm going to look for someone to raid now. I think we're going with WebDM, because our very own Susanna Grace is playing the Dark Eye. I think she's even GMing it. My God, is playing the Dark
nice.
Eye
Sounds
there,
good.
and she's usually up for a good time. So, Anna, if you would like to get out, I'll do my tech squirreling bit.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely the over-under for character death ratio is super skewed right now. But if you're watching this from the future on YouTube, hello, tell me, who do you think is actually going to die first? Because my money was definitely on Jacob, and now I have to rethink all the decisions that I have made to bring me there. Wow, so telling. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, before we head out and before I do my outros, one last thing, I did want to thank our sponsors again for making all of the awesome shows that we have lined up happening on Encounter Roleplay this season, especially these ZweihanderRPG folks who wrote the wonderful Flames of Freedom that we are playing right now. As for me, hi, I'm Anna. I'm Nymeria941, most places on the internet, and I have been your historian tonight for Boston Besieged. Definitely, gonna be having some interesting plans for what comes up next for these characters who are having weird visions and talks with disembodied voices and all of that good kind of stuff. As for where else you can find me, I'm actually going to be playing in our One Shot Wednesday tomorrow. We're going to be playing Royal Blood on this channel, Encounter Roleplay, at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's an RPG that's written by Grant Howitt, and it's all about tarot cards and like major arcana and being characters that are kind of ascended supernatural beings that have to fight gods. Because this is just how I roll, apparently. I also play in another Zweihander game, because that's what I live, eat, and breathe now, over on Chromatic Chimera on Fridays. We are finally about to be back from our semi-extended holiday hiatus with Bloody Portrait, which is a Zweihander game that is set in Renaissance Florence with vampires, and my character is now one of those vampires. Still hasn't gone out during the day yet, since becoming a vampire. That's kind of the cliffhanger on which we ended the session. So is she gonna burst into flames? We will find out, I guess. Other than that, keep an eye on my Twitter for things that I'm gonna be involved in. There's lots of projects coming up, and sometimes you can't talk about them until they're about to happen, but that's the best place to talk with me about them, or just yell about how cool warlocks are. And that's all I got.
Alright, then we are heading over to WebDM. Keep those tentacle hearts ready in chat, and send them all the love, send them all the good dice rolls. Don't do what I did. And, can we throw some JoJo jokes at Susie or something? Yeah, anyone who knows JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, some form of the Muda thingy, she did that last Wednesday one shot, so something like that. You'll figure it out. You're all smart people.
Perfect.
See you next week. Bye.